Is your network your biggest asset when you're laid off? It could be. Probably your biggest asset in life in general, not just in your job and your career and your role, but also in life. I think for me, it's been a huge help to have the people in my network as I'm navigating being laid off for the third time in my career and really starting and building from, I don't want to say square one, but it's a new adventure in my 30s to go from the corporate world to the unknown. I don't know if I'll go back to corporate. I'm looking, to go back to corporate. I do miss the work that I did, but I'm also so excited for everything that I'm doing. And my network is a huge part of that. I think it's important to have that support system. And it's not just important to have that support system for finding your next role, but also for every other aspect of what it's like to go through this. We've all been there. Maybe not everyone's been laid off before, but everyone has been through a time of uncertainty. So it's so important to have people in your network who are, say, like your mentors in your career to help you build skills, whether that's additional training or things you can do outside of work and train, just like structured trainings. So things like starting YouTube channel. Okay, well that helps with speaking and um, creativity, learning a new skill. It's a little bit like a living resume. Um, People I think have really gone towards LinkedIn and Instagram as like living, breathing resumes, but YouTube is another part of that. I haven't had it come up before in an interview, but you never know. Times change. So I think there's people like that in your network that are more like your mentors. And then I think there's also people that you should have in your network who are in in a similar mindset as you. For me, that's people who are in a growth mindset, in an entrepreneurial mindset. They're people that are similar to my situation, minus the layoff, where they had a 9 to 5 or they're transitioning from their 9 to 5 into their own entrepreneurial venture. And they're just people that understand what that journey is like, what it takes, both in the practical, but also in your mental state, your emotional state. It's crazy. There's a lot of uncertainty and how to live with that uncertainty. So I think people like that are also very important to have in your network. And a lot of times those people are also connected with other entrepreneurs who are, 4, 5, 10 steps down the road from where you are and can turn around and help and give you a leg up to whatever your next adventure in your career is, if that's down the entrepreneurial path or back into a more structured corporate setting. And I think you can find those people anywhere. You can find them locally. A lot of times there's like hot houses and different kinds of things in your city or your town where these kind of people go for help, and you should go and check it out. Or you can find these people in a mastermind. I help a lot of people. I was going to say hi cohort too. I have a lot of people like this in a mastermind that I was fortunate enough to be a part of. Be, gosh, well, it was a year from our in-person mastermind, but all of us together have been for almost 2 years now. So very exciting. You can find these people, in person, online. Definitely surround yourself with people who get it, because not everybody's going to understand what you're going through. I think, parents love them dearly. They're wonderful. They're a great support system, and they're definitely part of your network. But there's also a difference in generation, and what work looked like for them, what careers look like for them is very different from what it looks like for us. I'm a millennial. Yes, we've gone through it all. We've had poor timing. There's 100 different articles you can find just within the past month, probably, of bemoaning the millennials, the poor millennials. Well, yeah, I mean, it's the reality. we've seen so much change in our lives and our career. And I think having people in your network that understand what today's job market looks like, what today's career paths look like is very important as well. And so I think that's a good segue into having your network in your family as well, having that support system there, people who are gonna love and support you and be there for you, and you shoulder to cry on, someone to yell at. Don't yell at your family. It's really not a great thing to do. Um, but let's be real, sometimes the emotions do pour out, and having someone or some, people there to help you is also very, very important. And to listen to maybe not their career advice, because like in my experience it's a little bit antiquated, but I do think it also translated just for the life advice. And there's always those skills that like translate from one work generation to the next. And I think there's value in the skills that they have that are skills that won't be replaced by AI, for example. They're people skills, how to build connections with your clients, with your coworkers, and the things that are really intangible. I know I've learned a lot over the years from my parents about building relationships, and that yes, it's okay to get on the phone and take them or into a meeting with someone and take a minute and say, hey, how's your family? How's your dog? How was your weekend in the mountains? Whatever it may be. I think putting that personal touch is still super important. And that's stuff that I've learned from people in my network. So definitely don't discount it. I'm not trying to knock it. But I've also seen the flip side of it where I'm like, oh, that advice maybe doesn't quite apply to what I'm going through right now. And then I think one of the last things for your network, maybe it's not something you would think of traditionally for a network, but maybe it falls a little more in the resource category. But definitely look at the resources that are provided by your local government, your state government, your federal government. I'm based in the United States, so this may not apply to everyone, but there's a lot of resources there, whether that's the local career center or different programs. And those are definitely people that you should be talking to and resources you should be looking at. Get that into your network. It's very important, I think, in all of this as well, to diversify. And not put all your eggs in one basket. Uh, if you haven't met her, this is Munt. She's my tabby. She's my helper, and she likes to think that because the little love seat here is up against the plant stand, shelf, whatever. It's not really a plant stand where the plants are. She likes to think that means she can go get her whiskers into things that aren't hers. So you'll see her around. I know you're here really just to see her cameos, and that's fine. I won't be offended by that. So just to wrap up the idea that, yeah, definitely also look at the resources, have that in your network. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. You never know where the next opportunity is going to come from. And it's amazing how if you talk to one person, they may not be able to help you, but they can say, hey, you know what? Actually, I know somebody. Let me reach out to them and connect you. So it all builds on itself. It's all very important. So yeah, that was just something that I kind of had on my mind today. I hope it helps. And yeah, if you want to connect, go ahead, jump on my email newsletter list, hang out, stay a while. I really don't know where all this is going. Just disclaimer, and I'm just gonna, I'm a huge traveler. I'm talking about life, and I'm just excited to have you here and excited to see where it goes. So if you want to hang out, jump on the newsletter, check out the blog, check out another video, and yeah, see you in the next one. Bye.